Hey guys, today we're going to teach you how to do some backcountry knots. Let's do it. There's 3 knots that we use all the time in guiding outfitting and that I've used basically my whole life that have been really helpful. And the reason why we're going to go over knots today is because I've been married to my wife for almost 7 years, and her method of tying knots is to tie lots of them. And so I want my wife to watch this video because I love you and I want you to know how to tie some knots. And believe it or not, I haven't taken the time to teach her. So this is a good opportunity to teach some of my wife, some of our guides, and other people 3 really important backcountry knots that can save your bacon and are really valuable, especially if you're spending a lot of time back there. So let's go ahead and dig into it. The knot that I'm going to start with is probably the one that I use the most. Not necessarily the most important, but it's a really good knot, really quick and easy to use, and probably the easiest one for me to teach. So that's what I'm going to start with, and it is the half hitch. And so whether you're using horses or llamas or tents or using gear hangs, whatever, this one is really fast and easy to do, and it's really easy to undo as well. And so when doing the half hitch, I like to go at least around once. So we just call that a round tie. Just go around once, and then you can actually begin your knot. And so to begin your knot, you take the tail end here, and this is what I call the lead end, the left side, and this is the tail end. What you do is you cross them, and then you take your tail end and you bring it on the inside, and then you just do that exact same thing one more time, and that's your hitch. So we just created a half hitch, then we're going to do one more. And then they go together, we tighten it, and you can slide it if you want, and there you go. That's knot's going to hold forever, holds any tension, and it's pretty easy to undo even when you have a lot of tension like that. So there you go, wham bam, and it's undone even with a lot of pressure. Guys, this is called a saw knot. Just kidding. So we're going to teach you guys how to do the bowline knot. This knot is kind of the premier knot. You can use it in any application, in rock climbing, gardening, and boating, and sailing, and llama packing, and backpacking. It's probably the most universal knot in the world and most commonly used, but it's also one of the hardest to teach and hardest to remember. So did a little practicing, so I think I can teach you guys the way that I learned, and hopefully can help you as you go into the backcountry or just around the house. You guys are tying knots for whatever reason you might be tying knots at your house for. So we'll go ahead and get started. This is called the bowline knot. And again, we have our lead end here and our tail end here. And so what I like to do is I take the lead end and I take my hand and I just grab it like that and flip it over to create a loop. And once you have the loop created on the lead end, then I'll take my tail end and I'm going to come underneath the loop like that with the tail end and kind of tighten up my knot. And then I'm going to go underneath with the tail end. I'm going to go underneath the lead end, and I'm going to go over the top of it. I'm going to go back down the hole that I first created with the lead end, and then I'm going to kind of just snug everything up. All right, there we go. And once you kind of finish, it ends up looking kind of like a figure 8 here in the knots. And so now I'll roll it over and tighten it, and there you go. You'll notice that if you have a lot of slack, that the bigger this V gets. So once you got it tight, there's your knot. And this knot, you can tighten it, have tons of pressure, and you can still get the knot undone when you need to. So it's really easy to do that. And so you can shorten up the space, you can make the space bigger. And this knot couples really good with the next knot that we're going to use, which we'll teach you as the taut line. This is the bowline knot. Again, I had some pretty good pressure on it, and it's pretty simple to undo. This is the 3rd knot that we're going to be doing today. It's the taut line, T-A-U-T, that's how you spell it. And this line is my favorite line to use, and probably because when you do it in front of someone that's never done it before or seen it before, you feel really cool. So it's a taut line. I use it a lot, especially with doing stakeouts for the llamas and with tents, with big canvas tents or backpacking tents when something breaks or you need a guide rope out. This is the way to do it. This is the way I do it, and it's really helpful. It's great for tarps if you're trying to put a tarp over a cooking station or just to get out of the weather. So taut line is very useful, very handy, and makes you feel really cool when you do it in front of people in the backcountry. So what you do is you loop around whatever tree, stump, post, rock that you're trying to go to. And you'll take the lead end here, or sorry, you got your lead end and your tail end, you'll cross them. And then you'll take your tail end and you're gonna go underneath like that. And then you're gonna do it one more time. You can do it 3 or 4 more times if you want to, but twice is plenty unless you have a lot of weight that you're trying to secure. And then you're gonna take your lead end and you're gonna go like this, cross over one more time behind, and then down. And so that's your taut line. And now the cool thing about this is you can slip it through your lead end and you can extend it. And now let's say you need to tighten it up. You can tighten it up and it's not gonna slip on you. So it's a pretty cool knot, very, very useful when you need to make a line tight, doing high lines, low lines, guy ropes on tents and different things like that. So very, very useful, very easy to undo as well. And hopefully this guys will help you in the backcountry. That is the taut line. Okay, so this is gonna be our demonstration of like purposeful knot tying. When I was in school, elementary school, grade school, middle school, and high school, I'd always be like, when are we ever gonna use this? Well, I'm gonna show you when you could use these knots that we tied you. So we're gonna do the bowline on this tree, we're gonna do the taut line on this tree, and then we're gonna show you how and why we would use this combination together. So I'm gonna go ahead and hurry and tie the bowline here. Okay, so we got some pretty good angle there. I'm gonna do the tight line over here. I'm gonna actually do it with some pretty good space. All right, so commonly we use this line to tie llamas up in the backcountry. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna loosen the tight line to give me some more slack here in the middle. I'm just gonna grab some slack in the middle and I'm gonna make a loop and just take the loop around your fingers and back through the self. Pretty simple. You just grab the loop, wrap it around. Now we've got a nice secure loop right here. Now I'm gonna tighten up the taut line here. All right, so now we have a pretty tight line that we can use and we can tie stuff to it. Whether it's laundry that we want to put out here to dry, or if it's you know, game meat that we want to hang. And more commonly, we use it for tying up the llamas. Say this is tied to the llama's halter here. You just get a carabiner, hook it to the line there, and then you can also hook it to the line and allow it to slide. This can be a low line or a high line. So lots of different reasons to be able to use a simple rope with a bowline knot and with the taut line knot. You can just do endless things in the backcountry. So hopefully the purpose of why we use these knots and how we use it is beneficial to you. Thanks for following along, guys. We really appreciate it. Please share and subscribe and leave some comments below. We'll see you on the next episode.